Welcome to the special public meeting of April 28, 2020 of the Township of Washington Township Council. Adequate notice of the meeting has been given in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act by the Township Clerk to at least 2 newspapers on April 17, 2020. And this notice has been posted on the Township Bulletin Board, Electronic Message Board, WCTV, and on the Township website. Salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2, roll call.
Councilman Casio.
Here.
Councilman Cumming.
Yes.
Councilman DeSena.
Here.
Councilwoman Morgan.
Here.
Council President Feeney.
Yes, here. Let the record reflect also participating via conference call Peter Calamari, Mayor, Robert Tovo, Administrator, and Susan Mikowski, Township Clerk. Approval of meetings minutes, none.
You'll have a ton on Monday.
I'm sure, yeah. Okay, public discussion. To participate in the general public discussion portion of the meeting, please dial in on 201-664-4659. You will be asked to state your name and address for the record, and we ask that only one person speak at a time. Please note that at the end of the general public discussion, no more calls will be accepted, and there is a 5-minute time limit.
Hello? Anybody there?
Oh, wait, motion to open public discussion.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye. Aye. Aye.
Hi, anybody on the line?
Anybody there? Anybody call in?
This is Michael Ullman.
Hello, Mr. Ullman.
Hello, Ms. Mikowski.
Stacy there?
Yeah, I lost you guys. I'm sorry. You guys were totally silent.
No, they've all been quiet. Mr. Ullman's on the other line.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Evening. Just a question about the calendar. Is there a meeting tomorrow evening?
Sorry, Mr. Ullman, could you just say that one more time, please?
I'm just looking at the calendar, the council meeting calendar, and I'm just trying to understand, is there a meeting tomorrow evening?
There's an additional budget meeting tomorrow at 7:30.
Thank you. A question on taxes. Do we have statistics in terms of the number of past due, the dollar amount past due, and percentages of due for the prior 4 or 5 quarters?
I'll have to check with the tax collector and get back to you on that.
We don't have that information yet, or we haven't requested that yet?
Mr. Stacy, remember we had received that information. Our tax collection this year is above last year's 2019 levels for this quarter.
No, I didn't see anything in our email. That's why I was going to check with her.
Yeah, no, I had asked Mr. Tovo a few meetings back, and he had sent it to all of us. We are above the collection rate from last year for the same time period.
Do we know what it is for Q2 219 at this point? So you have that information?
As the information we received from the tax collector is the 2019 rate. The 2020 rate as of April 19th was higher than the 2019 rate, Mr. Ullman.
All right. Interesting. A question on the benefits, and specifically the pension benefit. Last meeting it was discussed. So am I to understand, based on the discussion, that the pension benefit was not in the budget that was presented to the council?
Mr. Tovo, I believe you have, do you have the information from Edmonds on that?
Well, no more of an update than was previously given. There was a glitch when we went from the workbook to the actual Edmonds document, where the line that those numbers were put in, the same line as used in previous years, did not carry over. I therefore put it into a subcategory of the same section, and the number did then capture. But that was after council got their original copies of the budget.
So the budget that the council has been working with for the past couple of months or month and a half did not include that. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So who is responsible for ensuring that the workbook makes its way from Excel into Edmonds?
Who's ever doing that flip over? In this case, that was me.
And is there a possibility that there are other items that did not come across?
We've been through this numerous times, and there's nothing that has not gone from the workbook to the current document.
Thank you. And then the discussion also, there was also discussion about capital improvements and I don't know if, because I don't have the documents, it was proposed or it's the actual, but that there was $550,000 initially proposed, and that is being reduced to $150,000. Is that correct?
So the amount originally was $500,000, and it is being, the administration and the mayor asking for a reduction, the department heads are making a recommendation for $150,000. So, and that was due to when the budget was prepared originally and submitted to us in order to get us the budget, they used $500,000 as only a placeholder. So since the two pieces of equipment, the Class 2 pickup and the wheel loader, are not going to be purchased, and that it's going to be cheaper to rent the wheel loader, based on some other information from the department heads, it's been determined that $500,000 would not be required.
Ms. Feeney, if I can add to that.
Sure.
There are also some bills that we had not received yet for some of our insurances and BCUA. So we left the number more elevated to try to absorb what increases, if any, we might see in those areas.
Thank you, Mr. Trevo. And Mr. Allman, your 5 minutes is up.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else on the line? Hello, anybody else? Public comment?
Okay, I think there's nobody there. So motion to close open public discussion.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Budget. Okay, so I just want to start off with that. The budget that was the new numbers that were sent out is not that the mayor is adjusting or changing his numbers. This was based on the last conversation when we left. We agreed that he would change the numbers on the report so we could see what the numbers look like. We still have several things to vote on.
Correct. That was.
And so that we agreed to allow the temporary numbers to be put through just so we could have an overall percentage and an overall number for the budget.
Madam President,
Yes,
May I-
Mr. Cummings.
this is Art Cumming. May I request that we add an item to that, if it's not inappropriate at this time, add an item to the capital list because, as I have discussed a couple of times, that we're pending energy management system purchase and installation. A rather modest number of $25,000 is.
Okay, so do you know which line you'd like to add that to, Mr. Cummings?
Should we put that in capital equipment under DMF, say below town hall access control?
Okay, let's go to that page.
Ms. Feeney, that's on the capital projections. It's not actually.
Okay, so it's in the spreadsheet that you sent out.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. Does everybody have that spreadsheet? If you have to find it.
Right in front of me, so fine. Anyway,
Okay.
sorry. The last line under building or park improvements, Mr. Tovo, could we put it there? Energy management system?
Mr. Cummings, anywhere in here.
You asked for that at the first meeting. I have it for $20,000. Energy management system estimate is $20,000.
Councilman, could you please speak a little bit louder?
Yeah,
What's that?
Mike, we can't hear you.
I'm sorry. In the first meeting, Art asked for energy management system. I have estimate $20,000, making the total capital for this year at $2.722999.
Oh, thank you. I've added a small system for the library in addition.
What's that?
I added.
Okay, so then 25,000 here for this, right?
I
Okay.
had 20. He had asked for 20 originally in the meeting. That's what I have.
Yes, you're quite right. Yes, sir.
Okay, so Mr. Cummings,
Now
do
we
you want 25 or 20, just so we can all discuss it correctly?
25, including the library building.
Okay. Hold on.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Okay.
What does including the library building mean, Mr. Cummings?
It means we've got 6 large RTNs, rooftop units, RTUs, over there that are gas-fired heat and so on, in addition to a large boiler. And we want to put we'll be able to contact it on the internet, a system over there.
Oh, you're saying your energy management system at Town Hall will do both buildings?
It will be an extension arm of the unit at Town Hall with a separate internet address so that the library director and staff can set the schedule. And as I discussed with the director briefly, if she has a snow day and the library does not open, she can call in from her laptop at home and set the building down and save a day's energy cost, which is several $100s.
Okay, so what we have from Mr. Tovo is 2.632 and adding the 25,000. I just want to.
Where's 2.632, Stace?
That's the last email that I have.
Yes, I have 2.632 plus Art's 20,000 for 2652 is what I had marked.
Right, but he said 25. So if I do 2.63200 plus the 25.
Oh, I see that.
Then is 2657. Okay, so I can't edit this worksheet.
And that's an increase also for the library of 85,000 from the original budget submitted for 100,000 for the library.
Well,
the original submission from the mayor was 100,000 for the
I
library.
understand. I'm not saying that.
You
I
need to
just want
speak
to
up.
just one line item before we move.
One at a time, please.
Mr. Cummings, what are we calling this piece?
Energy management system. Plural, I guess.
Okay, so for 25,000. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Mr. Cummings, you're making a motion for an increase on the capital budget for 25,000 for
Yes, ma'am.
energy management system, correct?
That is correct.
I'll second. Do you guys want to have a discussion about this, or do we want to vote?
I'm ready to vote.
You can vote.
Okay, everybody good to vote, or do we want to discuss more? I'm not sure if I heard everybody, that's why I'm asking.
This is Desiree. I'm ready to vote.
Okay,
You can vote on it.
okay.
Councilman Cumming,
Oh, yes.
Councilman Casio, sorry,
Yes.
Councilman DeSena,
Yes.
Councilwoman Morgan,
Yeah.
Council President Feeney.
Yes. Okay. Mr. Tova, do we need to do anything for you for that piece, or we're good?
No, that vote was just for Mr. Cummings' addition, right?
Yes, but do you need anything, or?
No, I just generated a new spreadsheet with those numbers included.
Okay, great. And
vote on the library edition, that was changed, Stacy.
no, I know. I'm not. Yeah, I'm just talking about the one thing. I just want to make sure I'm not missing a step, that Mr. Tovo needs something for that addition to the capital plan.
I just need more info for Mr. Cumming on the actual project.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Where were we with the library?
So I think we listened to Laura's. Did everybody take the virtual tour?
No.
I opened it. The link didn't work, but I've been in the library a million times. I actually would
I've
like
been
to
in the
make a
library
motion.
enough to know what they're doing.
Right. I'd like to make a motion. I don't know if just going to put my 2 cents. I'm going to make a motion for $100,000.
And I'll second your motion, Desiree.
Now, are you working off of the capital, or are you working off of current?
Well, we're gonna, Desiree, you're working off the current, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you're making a motion to make the library renovation budget $100,000, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And I'm gonna second it too.
Okey dokes.
Whenever you're ready.
I'm ready if everybody else is.
I think we are, yeah.
So, Stace, if we do what Desiree and you have motioned for, it will not pay for the renovation, correct?
Well, we're getting $100,000.
Not the 185 request that's in the current capital that was resubmitted.
Yeah. Yes,
That's
I'm
correct.
reading from that also, and it's 185.
Yeah.
Right, but it's not that it won't pay for it. It's just less.
Stacy, it's the mayor. May I get in a quick word?
Of course.
Thank you. Just want to remind everyone that that is a matching grant. So if it were to come through, be losing money. Those grants don't come out very often, so we can't say when the next one would be. And the impact to capital, in my opinion, is minimal when you spread this out over the estimated time that it would be budgeted for. So just my quick 2 cents. Thank you.
Mr. Tovo, can I ask a question? Stacy, can I ask Mr. Tovo a question, please?
Of course, yes.
Mr. Tovo, during all the heat and air conditioning days, has the Jack Woods Center ever reached its capacity that we needed a second location since you've been in town?
Not since I've been here.
Thank you. So there's, to your knowledge, having a second cooling and heating location has never been needed since you've been here.
Not in the year and a half I've been here, no.
Thank you.
And if it's a grant, I think I'm not on mute. Okay, it's matching, so that's a $200,000 project that they can allot whatever construction needs to be done.
You're right, Stace. Desiree, excuse me.
Yeah.
or they can raise the balance through donations and keep the project where it is. Those would be their options.
Better.
I'm okay. That's all I had. Thank you.
Does everybody want to go see if they can, I mean, I know that we didn't get the link working. Do we want to?
Stace, honestly, I think Laura did a great job explaining it. I think I understood her project, which is why I'm agreeing to $100,000.
The original ask was 185.
No, 100 was the original ask.
Oh.
I feel we must be shortchanging something, and I'm not sure I understand.
Okay, so why don't we put this on?
Well, we made a motion.
Okay, why don't
we got to vote.
No, I know. Just thinking, Mr. Cummings obviously has some more questions, so I'm not going to force that if somebody's got more questions.
Well, it's a matching grant, and she needs $185,000, and it's been in the capital budget. So, what good will? And with all respect, the $100,000 doesn't match, right?
But it does match.
But it
They'll
was
get 100 back,
200,000.
Mr. Cummings. They'll get 200 instead of 400.
Right. They're still going to get the match of $100,000, so we'll get $200,000. We had asked that question earlier on. Was there a limit? Was there a minimum? And the answer was no.
So the total renovation library is looking for is like $370 some odd thousand. And without that, they're only going to be able to do half of the renovation that they want. That's basically what the situation is that if we give the $185,000, we'll get $185,000 from the government, from the grant. So,
But do we really need the generator and all that stuff is what I question, Stacy, because, that's another $60,000, $70,000, and then it brings it down to 100 match for us, and we're okay then.
Right, and I think it definitely, we need improvement, and we can improve it with $200,000. There's a difference between a real want, which I understand, and a need. And I honestly believe that $200,000 can go pretty far and make a significant impact. I don't know that we're shortchanging anybody.
no, but I am, over the last so many years, the town has missed out on a ton of grant money. And, just to be on the other side, saying that we're leaving money on the we're leaving free money on the table.
Or we're spending an extra $80,000.
Right, but the $80,000 theoretically turns into $160,000.
But it's still $80,000. Like, you still have to pay that.
No, I understand.
Yeah, we can vote if you guys want. I don't know what we'd be losing. Like, I'm not sure that there's a clear, if we have $100,000, we get this. If we have $180,000, we get this. I think $100,000 is what they originally asked for, and it's a pretty decent size, improvement budget.
Anybody else, Mr. Cummings, have any questions, or anybody else have any comments?
No, I think I understand everyone's logic at this point, and I appreciate the additional input. Thank you very much.
Do we want to vote?
Yeah, I guess we should vote.
Okay, Councilman Casio.
Yes.
Councilman Cumming.
Yes.
Councilman DeSena.
Yes.
Councilwoman Morgan.
Yes.
Council President Feeney.
Yes.
All right, so that $185,000 goes down to $100,000, correct?
Yes, that's correct, Sue.
I just want to make sure I'm following you guys properly. Thank you.
Okay, so starting reasonably at the beginning, sort of. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on, I'm just pulling my reference. Give me 1 second. All right, if I'm off on what's open, please let me know. So I have that. Okay. All right. Well, let's go to the capital improvement. The 500,000 originally. I'm going to make a motion for the 150,000.
Stacy, what page is that?
Sure. Hold on 1 second. I have the old page. I don't have the new page.
Okay, thanks.
I'm working on it.
Is this the one that's titled Township of Washington 3-Year Capital Plan?
No. Hold on.
It's on page 66.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Thank you.
Okay, it's entitled Cap Improvement Fund. It's 2/3 of the way down on page 66.
Okay, can we discuss before we go into vote?
Excuse, are we on the old or the new printout?
66 on the new printout. Do you want me to tell you where? I have it on the old if you want it.
Get on the new. I've got it.
Yeah, stay on the new if you want. I'll work off the new one tonight with you guys.
You sure? Okay.
Yep.
Working on both.
I know, I'm working on both too.
Hate to write on this new one though.
Uh-huh.
Okay, it's on the old one, it's on 79.
Jazz?
I got my old one then. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yep, that's where you said you wanted to start.
Okay, so I made a motion for the 150. Councilman DeSena wants to discuss it, so let's discuss.
I'd like to know, I know.
A second, do we have a second on it?
Oh, sorry.
Somebody gonna second the 150,000?
Second.
Thank you.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Mike, go ahead.
I know the one pension payment came out of it, but what happened? Where'd the other 200,000 go out of the original 500,000? Is like what I'd like to know.
I believe part of it was the two vehicles. If my notes are correct, one was a Class 2 pickup and the other one was a wheel loader. Is that correct?
If I could just chime in here, it wasn't a matter of the money being removed and placed somewhere else or projects being removed. 500,000, I explained at the last meeting, was a placeholder, knowing we were going to have some capital down payment money, but we still left a little bit more in there because, like I said earlier, there were bills that still had not had come in yet, so we didn't want to artificially deflate what the bottom line number would be until those bills came in.
Mr. Tova, I'm not understanding your logic. The original budget had a $500,000 line item there, right?
Correct.
So when we removed $350,000 of it, right? Taking out capital, because capital has nothing to do with this 13.7, this new number of 13.649 million. So we take that out. There's $350,000 that needs to be accounted for. So some of it gets accounted toward the PERS payment. I understand that, but there's still another $200K. We didn't raise this budget by $200,000 for shortfalls anywhere. I'm looking at an increase based on what we were given tonight. We have decreases of the mayor's budget of $500,000 and increases of $71,000.
Well, the increases, Councilman DeSena, a lot of it is contributed to things that were out of our control for the year. So an average of like $36,000 for recycling fees, $60,000 for waste, another $60,000 for OEM due to COVID.
That was all in, but that was all. The COVID is totally separate. We did an emergency resolution for that. It's
right,
totally
I understand.
Separate. The other numbers were already accounted for. There was $500,000.
But I already told you the number was a placeholder. And the good thing here is that
one at a time, please.
This is down payment for debt service, and then you're talking about a reduction. I mean, isn't that really a direction that's a positive direction if the town is, if the administration is saying.
But the budget doesn't make sense that way. It was put in there as a $500,000 placeholder, right? The other lines were already increased, right? There's
Because the last year's was 550.
What's that?
Because last year's was 550.
But last year, it doesn't matter last year's. The 2020 budget had this appropriated as $500,000, right? So when you take 500 and you reduce it by 150, by 350,000, and you say that the money is being reappropriated, where did it get reappropriated? Because the other lines, like you're talking about recycling and all, those are already in the mayor's budget.
Mr. Charlo, did you say that all the money in the 500,000 was reappropriated?
Yeah, as I said, there are bills that we had not yet received. Going down a brief list of it, where we currently are with recycling, that still went up by $36,000. VCUA is up by 60. OEM, we just discussed, we know why that's up. Legal other is up by 33, and PFRS is up by 25, and police S&W, which was accounted for, was up to 239,000. So,
but the police S&W was up already accounted for in the budget you presented to us.
And everything except that number there, we're up $239,000.
But the numbers were already accounted for, the other ones you're talking about. They were already...
At the time the original budget was done. Recycling to some degree was because we were anticipating solid waste. We didn't have the BCUA bill. Your original budget document does not have OEM, did not have the other legal increase, the salary increases for uniform construction, and PFRS also went up by $25,000, which wasn't originally included. So we didn't have the bill.
But when I'm going through, if I look at the Sue put out the increases to the mayor's budget as the mayor's presented budget, it's a total of $71,974.
But that's not everything, Mike. Don't forget, you still have some numbers you have to do. That was just as of yesterday.
Right, that was only as of yesterday.
That Mr. Tovo, the police salaries and wages, we already approved that. That was incorporated into his 2020 budget.
Right, not counting that.
What's that?
I said not counting that number because it was already captured.
But all the other numbers was included.
But I'm confused because the whole way through this, everybody's like, we have to reduce the budget, we have to reduce the budget, we have to reduce the budget. So a line item here that's being reduced and the overall number has come down, I'm confused.
So Stacy, if you take the logic you just used, right? If you take the original,
if you compare the number that we had previously to the number we have now,
I can't understand you guys.
If you take the original printout, right, the budget prepared February 7th, 2020, right, and the recommended 2020 budget was $14,304,000. That was
right, and we are at
using your logic, that brings it down to $13,950,000.
No, it doesn't, because he told you because the other number wasn't in the pension. So we know that answer.
So that's so it brings it down to $15,100,000.
Councilman, you're garbling.
Yep, Mike, you're fuzzy.
It brings it. So if you put the 150 back in for the pension, it brings it down to $14,100,000.
Okay.
But then we look at this printout here, and we're at $13,849 with a minus of $400,000 for garbage service. So there's still money missing there.
Money, but the garbage number's still in here, correct?
It's not in there. He took it out. Correct, Mr. Tova?
The number's been reduced to $180,000.
Minus $400,000.
So when I went through the numbers, though, I went through the new temporary numbers that the mayor put out versus what we had, and I see the changes that we made. I don't see any other changes. Do you see other changes? Okay, we have to get through this line. So the line originally was $500,000. I'm making a motion for $150,000 on this line. So it's on page 66. It is account number. It's account 44-902-200. I think somebody seconded it. Correct?
Correct.
Sue?
Can you hear me?
No, I just have down that you just started talking.
Oh, no, I thought somebody.
I'm sorry, Stacy, you moved it, I'm sorry.
Somebody-
You motioned it, Steve seconded, yes, we're looking for a roll call, yes, I'm sorry. Ready? Councilman Casio?
No.
Councilman Cumming?
Yes.
Councilman DeSena?
No.
Councilwoman Morgan?
Yeah.
Council President Feeney?
Yes.
Okay, so you're down to 150 on that one.
Okay. Okay, where do we need to go next?
You have reserved for ambulance right underneath there. I don't know if you wanna,
Oh, that's true, we do, okay. Sorry, hold on, I'm looking at two different pages. Let's open. Okay, reserve for ambulance. Okay, reserve for ambulance, that's on page 6 here. Okay, it's 10,000. How does everybody, seems
What
it's
page?
10,000 every, is that our fee?
That's on 66, right below where you were, yes?
yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, so we're good with the 10,000?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, and then the reserve for pagers for ambulance corps?
Stacy, it's the mayor. Bob and
Yeah.
I were just talking about that. We believe that the heading on that is incorrect. It was going to be a reserve for the fire department.
Oh, okay.
And Bob and I just on a quick conversation, since they got new trucks last year and this year, it's our opinion we'd like to take our recommended down to 0 and start funding that next year after they've gotten their 2 trucks.
Okay, all right, so, does anybody have an issue with taking that line to 0? Okay, so we're taking that line to 0.
We
Okay, so
changed the
then this
title to
line
fire
is,
department.
sorry, what? I'm sorry, Councilman DeSena.
That's for fire department, not ambulance corps, right?
Right.
Okay.
Okay. So that takes that department total to 160. Okay. Okay,
Stacy, on the middle of 69, there's a huge change from the originally submitted for 014593000 from 107,850 to 215,700.
Are you on the old or the new, Mike?
The new. I'm only working on the new.
did you say 69 or 59?
On page 67.
Oh, I heard 69 also, Stacy.
215, okay, so 13. So the previous amount was,
107,850.
right, so I
We
don't
get
have any
some,
notes. I don't think we got to that. Did we get to that line?
What's, all right, I gotta look at my old one. I'm sorry, Mike, what's the line item?
It's 4593-000.
45-93000. I see nothing in it. This is the debt service for the 107,850?
Yeah, so, Mr. Tovo, Mr. Mayor?
I'm looking at 0145930 000, because I'm showing 215.7 in that.
Nah.
No, the original submission, before the temporary numbers has 107,850, not 215.
Yeah, the difference here would be the numbers that we had in the original document were off, and they were verified by LVH, and these are the corrected numbers.
Okay, Mr. Tovo, how this works is when you submit the budget to us, it's supposed
Could you please speak up?
Mr. Tovo, when we get the budget submitted to us, this stuff is supposed to be accurate. It's 100.
At the time you get the budget, most of these questions, or many of these questions, aren't yet answered. They're still a work in progress.
Yeah, but it's a twofold increase. It's huge.
So, Mr. Tovo, based on this number, the original Excel spreadsheet, do you know if it had the 107 or the 215, or you're now recommending 215?
Well, I'm recommending because that's our obligated bill to pay this year.
Okay, so so you have the bill, and this is the amount that's going to be built, that is being built.
Correct.
We got to vote on it.
And, okay,
All right, so,
Huge error.
wait, okay, but this is based on an actual bill, so if we don't pay this, we're gonna default.
Correct.
If we default, what's the impact?
Not good.
What's the vote?
And what's the impact, so we all understand how our vote is going to impact this?
I couldn't even hazard a guess.
Well, obviously our rating would drop substantially. Beyond that,
We'd have to find the money somewhere else. That's all.
Where are you gonna find another?
350, Mr. Tovo.
I couldn't hear you, Mr. Catana.
Okay, we're not having this. We're not having the snarkiness, period. I was asking questions, so everybody understood we don't need the snide comments, period. End of discussion.
That goes for everyone.
Stacy,
Yeah.
may I make a quick comment? Not snarky or anything like that.
Okay.
We do the best we can at the time to approximate the numbers. However, if you want us in the future to, it's a balancing act to get the budget to the council in a timely fashion as opposed to holding it to the end of the statutory date when we could. So some numbers have to be guesstimated for that balance to work.
Our auditor couldn't give us a number? An estimate?
Our order wasn't in until well after this document went to council.
We didn't reach out to anyone that had experience and expertise to figure out this number?
Okay, so we don't pass this, we're going to default, and that's not really good. Our credit rating will drop. Doesn't benefit anybody in town. So everybody's aware of the impact of this.
No, I think we can find the money somewhere else.
Councilman Cassidy, you're gonna have to speak up, please.
I said, I think we can find the money somewhere else in the budget.
Louder.
I think we can find the money somewhere else in the budget to make up for the shortfall of $107,000. This was not an unknown number. That's what really irks me. This is a number that should have been spot on. A couple $1,000s here and there being off, I get it. $100,000? I don't get it. You can't overlook stuff like that. And that's poor planning. And
Yes, but it's also irresponsible if we don't pass it that our credit rating's going to drop. Both sides, the problem is here we have a double-edged sword.
One at a time, please.
Ms. Feeney, I'm talking.
I'm sorry, we couldn't hear you, Mr. Cassio.
Let's take the tone down a little bit, okay?
Excuse me,
Let's stop
Ms.
arguing.
Morgan. I'm talking.
No,
Not
Mr.
interrupt me,
Cassio,
please.
I
Thank
think
you.
that it's about time
Thank
that
you.
we try to
Thank
be
you.
a little more civil
Thank
toward
you.
each other and have a little
Thank
more
you.
respect.
I'm talking.
I hear you.
Thank you. So I don't understand why it's off by $108,000. There's no excuse for that. That's why we have the CFO. That's why we have auditors, to be at least close. At least close. So I think we should go back and rework some numbers to make up for the shortfall. That's my opinion. You could leave this. You need a CFO. You don't have one.
So my question is how is going back when this is the billed number and if we can't pay the amount that's owed and forcing our credit rating down, how is that going to benefit the town? It's a double-edged sword. You've got one, it wasn't the right number to begin with, which the administration has told us it was a timing issue. It is what it is. We can't go back and change time. We can't go back and change what happened. But the best thing to do in the town's best interest would be to pay it timely so we don't lose our credit rating, which has a bigger impact long term.
When's our next payment? Mr. Tovo, when's our next payment?
I'm sorry, he stepped out for a quick moment.
Mr. Mayor, when's our next payment due?
I don't know offhand. We'd have to wait for Bob to come back.
Okay. I'd like to get that answer, please. Thank you.
This is Art. Do I understand correctly that this 215,700 number is based on an actual bill that has just come in? Is that right, Mr. Mayor? You were saying something in that regard?
I think maybe he went to get Mr. Tobo, I'm assuming, because he's not answering.
Yes, I'm sorry. I just walked back.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Next is due on 11/1.
I was just saying, well, I think Dr. Casio had a question before I did. And his question was, when is the next payment due? Is that right, Doctor?
That is correct, Mr. Cumming. When is the next payment due? We usually have a debt schedule with these things, so I'd like to know what the schedule is.
There's no longer a debt schedule payment, Mr. Tovo?
We have two payments per year, one on 5/1 and one on 11/1. They're both automatically deducted from our bank account via ACH.
And the amount that will be deducted is going to encompass the 215,700, correct?
Correct. I have the debt schedule. I can pull which one is coming out at what time if you want to hold on for a second.
Please, thank you.
When was that debt schedule prepared, Mr. Tovo?
And was this based on a bill that just came in recently? So that
Mr.
the
Cumming, I
number
asked a
changed?
question. Tovo, hold on 1 second, please.
He gets asked two questions. You didn't talk over each other. Everybody's okay.
Mr. Tovo, when was that debt schedule prepared that you knew the dates?
Well, it's two separate questions. I knew the day after I received this from LVH, the date prepared is 10/17/19.
Correct. So we knew we had two payments due in 2020 of $107,000 and change.
there a question there?
Excuse me?
Was there a question?
I said if we had the debt schedule prepared last year, we knew we had a payment due in May and November of $107,000 each. So we put one payment in here instead of two is the problem.
I won't argue with that.
Oh. So it's not the bills coming in. The bills already come in. We knew what the debt schedule was. We just didn't plan accordingly for it.
Apparently, that's the case.
And I believe that Ms. Feeney is correct that if we don't pay this, our credit rating is, they used to say in the service, FUBAR. That won't be very good.
How much would our credit go down?
Well, the whole
That
country's
means- that
in
just
the
means
toilet,
we
but we
cost-
don't have to
it cost
join
us-
it.
I'm sorry, Art. That just tells me that when we go to borrow money again, it becomes more expensive, correct?
Yes.
If you
Doctor,
credit
is that
those
correct?
funds,
Speak loudly into your phone. It sounds like you're miles away. I'm so
Okay.
sorry.
Okay. Here's the question. If our debt rating or our credit rating goes down, okay, and next time we borrow money, we're paying more money, right?
correct.
Okay.
Usually what happens.
So
right.
we're basically paying zero for this money now. If we paid
Yeah, we
double,
would be.
if we paid double of 1%, it'd be 2%.
But Steve,
Triple would be
I'm not
3%.
giving you just the payment. I say we find the 107 somewhere else and make the payment.
Exactly. So let's cut this budget and find $100,000 somewhere. Let's whittle it out of the budget and keep the number the same. Because obviously this was, wasn't planned for. So we have to find it somewhere. So
And what about the projects that need funding?
You're going to take a risk. I agree with Desiree. You're taking a risk on the projects that need funding. You're taking a risk on, and the credit rating doesn't go back to a good rating immediately if you start paying on time. You're years out on that.
I think the credit rating has nothing to do with the poor planning. That's all this boils down to. We knew we had.
But it doesn't matter. We have to do what's in the best interest of the town, and it's making the town's credit rating go down in the best interest long term. It's and making the residents pay more. If it's a mistake and it's an error, I mean, I don't understand why everybody, if he's saying that there was an error and they're adjusting it and we have the right numbers now and the numbers are included in the amounts we've received, instead of making the town's credit rating go down, it doesn't make any sense. Would you miss a credit card payment because
Nobody's saying to miss the payment, Stacy.
we're not missing it. We're gonna cut $107,000 out of the current budget somewhere else.
So where would you like to cut it from?
And this is keeping the town
Would you like to
moving
start on
forward.
page 1?
This is
I mean,
keeping the town moving
we
forward.
have cut quite a bit out. So, line items have been reduced. Things have been brought down to zero.
You can still reduce. There's some meat on the bone, not a lot. If I can bring it down another 50,000, and I only have
It still doesn't get us to 107.
57,000.
Still doesn't get us to 107.
I didn't say it did.
Well, you
I never
said
said
you
that.
would like to find the 107 somewhere else, and I said, okay, where would you like to find it? You said you could get us to another
If we
57.
can find another $50,000.
Doesn't get us to the 107 that's
I'll put
required for the loan
One
payment.
at a time, please. I can't understand you. I'm sorry.
That's what I'm saying to you. So if we can find $50,000 somewhere else, I'll put 157 on this line. And then we're at our 215.
I disagree.
Well, you're allowed to disagree.
So let's vote.
Hello?
I'm going to go vote no for the line, and then we're going to find $57,000 somewhere.
The wrong points are being made. Honestly, the wrong focus. You have the wrong focus.
That's my focus. You're entitled to your focus. That's my focus. It's like any other budget. If you need money somewhere, you got to find it somewhere in your purse. So you're just reallocating. That's all it is. I mean, if you want to, I can tell you how to do it right now. Just take the mayor's increased budget, bring it down to 0, and then you have 71,000. I'll fund the difference.
Yeah, okay. Let's have a vote.
You have a motion first?
Did we have a motion?
No, I don't see one. I think we just
No, I don't think we had a motion.
I think it just started.
Motion 215.
I'll motion.
Stacy, you motion. Desiree, you second?
That was Desiree, I motioned.
Sorry.
You need a second.
Second.
Sue, do you need something or you're good?
No, I'm good. Councilman Casio.
No.
Councilman Cumming?
Yes.
Councilman DeSena?
No.
Councilwoman Morgan?
Yes.
Council President Feeney?
Yes.
Does not pass.
Stacy, I'm confused. The recommend was 215.7, and you voted on 215.7.
No, the original recommend, Mr. Mayor, was 107,850.
I know, but there's a revised recommend of 215.7.
It doesn't work. It has to be your original budget.
Oh, now you're really nitpicking, because on almost every difference you say, Mayor, are you increasing your recommend? And now on this one, you're not.
Mr. Mayor, that's the law. I can't change it.
Steve, you're the one who always asks, Mr. Mayor, are you changing your recommendation?
And I'm allowed to ask you.
And you haven't brought this up before.
I asked him if he was changing his recommendation.
Listen, Mr. Mayor, I've been doing this for 10 years. I always ask.
I asked if he was changing his recommendation.
But why ask if it's against the law and you know it?
Hey, if you want to change it, you got 4 people to agree, that's okay. I never asked you to change the number.
That's not true, Steve. You always ask after the discussion, especially if it's to increase, you say, Mayor, are you okay changing your recommend? And I say yes or no, and it's never been an issue until this line item.
We do it all the time.
That's what I'm saying. We do it all the time.
You do it all the time? Okay. Sure. I'm not going to argue with you, Mr. Mayor.
I'm not arguing. I'm pointing out a fact.
Sure.
It's countless times you have asked me, are you changing your recommendation? Why would you ask that if you know it's against the law?
Are we really going there?
You cannot answer. I'm just pointing out a fact as it's been.
Okay.
I can go back to the recordings and point out probably at least 20 times where you've asked that.
The document is the document.
Then why ask the question? So then I think you have to go back and redo this whole budget, because you can't do it just for this one line item.
I know, I have to go back and look at the law.
You asked countless times, and we did it, and now for some reason, all of a sudden it's against the law.
Really?
Look at, hey, go ask DCA what it is. Go ask.
It's not that. What he's saying is that if we cannot process on some things one way and process on other things another way. It's not that anyone's right or wrong. I have to go back now and look through the meetings and see where we actually stand with what's within the law and what's not in the law. He's 100% right.
Of course he is.
Thank you, Steve.
Mr. Mayor, can I ask you a question?
Of course, that's why I'm here.
So you submit your budget to us, yes, you gave it to us on February 7, 2020. And whether we ask you or not, we ask, do you want to revise your number, you still need 4 votes for an increase, is that correct?
No, not if I change the recommend. Then it's not an increase.
Then it's not an increase. I always thought it was an increase. That's why we always voted it when I was council president.
No, and I get why you ask, because you don't want to make it seem like you're increasing my budget a lot more. And I get it. But you got to play by the same rules then for the whole budget. And
Well, that's up to...
apply to this line item, but not that line item.
Well, that's, there's 5 other... You can't just put this on Steve. There's 5 other people, 4 other people that can make the same request.
And 4 other people, how many of you remember that being asked of me multiple times?
I asked
was asked
every single... I asked you every single time last year, and we took a vote on every line. I know people said it was overboard, but that's the way it's supposed to be done. So we can look at it either way, Mr. Mayor.
Well, I don't think you can. I think it has to be one way or it has to be the other.
I would just
There's not really a area there. The law is the law, and it is what it is. What it is. I have to go back through the minutes, and I'm going to have to see what happened, and then talk to the county, the auditor, and our attorney, and see where we stand. And I think that's as far as the discussion should go right now, because honestly, the back and forth, it's not productive. Okay, so...
I understand if you don't want to indulge me on this one thing, but would you ask the other council members individually if they remember that question being asked of me multiple times?
Mr. Mayor, you could go ahead and ask them.
Okay, would you all please just weigh in whether I've been asked that question multiple times? Thank you.
Yes, you have.
Yes, that's correct.
Yes.
Yes, and we voted with 4+.
Okay.
Then, Stacy, you might as well end the meeting, because now all the numbers are thrown into havoc.
I was really trying, OEM really needed the budget passed to get through COVID, but I honestly think with what's going on, it's not going to happen. So that's not a good thing. Okay, I'm going to call the meeting. Motion to adjourn the meeting.
Can I ask you one last question, Stacy?
No, I'm calling the meeting.
I need to know about...
Motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Can we tell the citizens the tax payment?
Do I have a second, please?
Art seconded.
Second.
He already did.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Before you all hang up, finish with your eyes, please.
Aye.
Are we meeting tomorrow night?
Yes, I'll have a decision tomorrow for how we have to move forward. Sue, can you please call me after the meeting?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Okay, have a good night.
Good night, thank you.